We've all heard the saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." But when those words flood your phone or computer screen at all hours, they can cut deeper than any stick or stone. In today's hyper-connected world, internet bullying has become an all too familiar issue, leaving many of us wondering how to cope with relentless online harassment. Whether it's the cruel comments, endless taunts, or malicious rumors that spread like wildfire, dealing with cyberbullies feels overwhelming and isolating. Yet, there's hope. By understanding why cyberbullies do what they do, we can better protect our mental health and regain control. Let's dive into some practical strategies, backed by psychology, to help us navigate this digital battlefield and reclaim our peace of mind. What exactly is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is more than just a few harsh comments online. It's a sustained attack on someone's self-esteem, sense of safety, and mental well-being. It often involves using technology, like social media platforms, messaging apps, or even gaming chat rooms, to harass, intimidate, or humiliate someone. The harsh reality of internet bullying lies in its persistence. It can happen anytime, anywhere, and victims often feel like there's no escape. Unlike traditional bullying, where the aggressor must be physically present, cyberbullies hide behind screens, making it easier for them to say things they might never dare in person. And let's be real here, online platforms have created a perfect storm where words can be weaponized. Those cutting messages and public shaming posts can quickly escalate, turning a bad day into a mental health crisis. But to deal with it effectively, we need to understand the root causes behind this behavior. What drives someone to become a cyberbully? Let's dig deeper. Who are the typical cyberbullies? Not all cyberbullies fit a single mold. You might be surprised to learn that the people engaging in online harassment aren't always the stereotypical tough kids from the movies. In fact, research has shown that many cyberbullies are individuals who themselves feel insecure or powerless. According to Dr. Samir Hinduja, co-director of the Cyberbullying Research Center, cyberbullying often stems from a need to exert control or gain social status. That means the bully isn't always the popular, confident type. They might be struggling with their own issues. Psychologically, cyberbullying can also be a form of projection, where bullies push their inner turmoil onto others to avoid dealing with it themselves. We see this often in cases where the aggressor has been bullied or neglected. By hurting others, they're trying to reclaim some sense of power or self-worth, albeit in a destructive way. But there's another type too, the trolls who seem to do it purely for the thrill. These individuals often lack empathy and get a dopamine rush from seeing others react to their provocations. It's like they feed off the chaos they create, leaving their targets feeling lost and powerless. So, whether it's a teenager struggling with their identity or an adult who feels powerless at work, cyberbullies come in many forms, but their actions share one thing in common: they hurt. Imagine waking up to a flood of hateful comments or having your private messages exposed for the world to see. The psychological impact of cyberbullying is profound and far-reaching. Victims often experience anxiety, depression, and a deep sense of isolation. In extreme cases, the harassment can lead to self-harm or even suicidal thoughts. According to the American Psychological Association, the constant stress from cyberbullying activates the body's fight-or-flight response, keeping victims in a perpetual state of tension. This can wreak havoc on one's mental and physical health. But it's not just about feeling sad or anxious. The damage goes deeper. When someone gets cyberbullied, they start questioning their worth. They wonder if they truly are what those nasty messages say they are. This constant assault on their self-esteem can lead to long-term trauma, eroding confidence and trust in others. And let's not forget that cyberbullying isn't confined to teenagers. Adults can be just as cruel, especially in online spaces like professional forums or community groups. It's crucial we recognize the signs, both in ourselves and in those around us. If you're feeling overly anxious, withdrawing from online spaces you used to enjoy, or noticing changes in your sleep patterns, it might be time to step back and reassess your digital environment. We have to take these red flags seriously. Tip 1. Respond to cyberbullying correctly. When we encounter internet bullying, our first instinct might be to fire back with an angry response. But let's face it, that often just adds fuel to the fire. Instead, the best way to handle a cyberbully is with calm and control. Think of it like facing a playground bully. If you don't give them the reaction they crave, they often lose interest. But that doesn't mean ignoring it entirely. Sometimes silence can be misinterpreted as consent. The best ways to respond to cyberbullies. So, you've encountered a cyberbully, and it's tempting to give them a piece of your mind. But here's the hard truth. Reacting emotionally can often make things worse. Instead, let's focus on strategies that put you back in control. First things first, ask yourself if a response is even necessary. More often than not, cyberbullies are fishing for a reaction. By not engaging, you're taking away their power. If you decide to respond, keep it short and neutral. Don't match their hostility. Instead, use statements like, "I understand your perspective," or "let's agree to disagree." Documentation is your next line of defense. Take screenshots of any offensive messages before they can be deleted. This isn't just about covering your bases, it also empowers you by turning the tables on the bully. If things escalate, these records can be shared with social media moderators or even legal authorities if needed. And don't underestimate the power of blocking and reporting. It might seem like a small step, but blocking a bully can create an instant boundary. Most social media platforms have improved their reporting features, so don't hesitate to use them. Your digital space should feel safe. Don't allow anyone to poison it. Tip 2. Reassess your social media habits. Let's be real, social media can feel like a minefield when you're constantly on edge, wondering when the next attack might come. If you're dealing with internet bullying, it might be time to take a step back and reassess your online behavior. Are you following accounts that uplift you, or are you stuck in spaces that thrive on negativity? Take a good, hard look at your feed. Sometimes, simply unfollowing toxic accounts can drastically improve your mental state. Consider a digital detox if things have gotten overwhelming. You don't have to quit social media altogether, but reducing your screen time can help you reclaim your peace of mind. Studies show that constant exposure to online negativity increases anxiety levels. By taking a break, even just for a few days, you give yourself the breathing room to reset. Remember, your worth isn't measured by likes, comments, or followers. Also, rethink what you're posting. Cyberbullies often target those they perceive as vulnerable or overly exposed online. Adjusting your privacy settings, limiting who can comment on your posts, or even going private can reduce your visibility to potential bullies. It's all about creating a healthier, safer digital environment. Tip 3. Seek support from non-toxic communities. Dealing with cyberbullies alone can feel like trying to hold back a tidal wave. But the truth is, you don't have to face it by yourself. One of the most powerful antidotes to online harassment is finding your tribe, those online communities where you feel safe, supported, and valued. Seek out forums or social groups that focus on positivity, mental health, or hobbies you enjoy. When you surround yourself with uplifting people, it becomes easier to drown out the negativity. Let's also not forget the importance of real-life connections. Confide in friends, family, or a therapist about what you're going through. Sometimes, just saying it out loud makes it feel less overwhelming. Plus, they might have insights or advice you hadn't considered. According to Breen Brown, a leading expert on vulnerability and connection, shame cannot survive being spoken. When we share our struggles, we weaken the power they have over us. Finding support doesn't just mean reaching out during a crisis, it's about building a resilient network before you even need it. That way, when the trolls come knocking, you're already fortified by the positivity of those who truly care about you. Tip 4. Reframe your perspective on cyberbullying. It's easy to take cyberbullying personally. When someone attacks us online, it can feel like a direct assault on who we are. But here's a powerful truth. Often, cyberbullying says more about the bully than it does about you. Reframing the situation is a psychological technique that can shift your mindset. Instead of seeing yourself as the victim, recognize that these bullies are projecting their insecurities onto you. They're trying to drag you down to their level because they're struggling with their own inner battles. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, often uses reframing as a way to manage negative thoughts. By challenging the automatic reaction to feel hurt or angry, you can choose to see things differently. For example, instead of thinking, "Why are they doing this to me?" you might consider, "They must be dealing with something difficult themselves." This shift doesn't excuse their behavior, but it does free you from the emotional weight of their words. It's also helpful to view cyberbullying as an opportunity for personal growth. Yes, it sounds counterintuitive, but every challenge in life can teach us resilience. Think of it this way: dealing with online bullies now can strengthen your confidence and mental toughness for the future. While you shouldn't have to endure bullying, finding ways to rise above it can be incredibly empowering. Tip 5. Cultivate body positivity online. In a world obsessed with appearances, it's no surprise that a significant amount of cyberbullying focuses on body shaming. If you've ever been on the receiving end of a nasty comment about your looks, you know how it can sting. But here's the thing: you don't have to let internet bullies define how you see yourself. Cultivating body positivity is a powerful act of self-care that helps you reclaim your self-worth. One way to combat this is to curate your social media feed. Follow accounts that celebrate all body types, promote self-love, and spread positivity. This can have a profound impact on your mindset. When you constantly see content that affirms you, rather than criticizes you, it becomes easier to silence the inner critic fueled by cyberbullies. And don't be afraid to take control of your online presence. Share what makes you happy, not what you think others want to see. If you feel uncomfortable sharing photos or personal updates because of fear of judgment, it's okay to take a step back. Your social media should be a reflection of you, not a performance for others. Remember, you're more than your physical appearance, and no cyberbully can take that away from you. Advice for parents on preventing cyberbullying. As parents, we want to protect our children from the harsh realities of the world. But in today's digital age, those harsh realities can slip into their lives through screens we might not always see. Cyberbullying is one of those insidious threats that can affect a child's mental health, self-esteem, and overall well-being. The good news? There are ways to prevent it, and it starts with open communication. Talk to your kids about their online activities, what apps they're using, who they're chatting with, and how they're feeling about their online interactions. Establishing a judgment-free zone where they feel comfortable coming to you if something feels off is crucial. According to child psychologist Dr. Michelle Borba, the more connected kids feel to their parents, the less likely they are to fall victim to online predators and bullies. It's about building trust so they know they can turn to you. It's also important to educate your children on what cyberbullying looks like. Sometimes they might not even realize that they're being bullied or that they might be engaging in harmful behaviors themselves. Set clear guidelines about what is and isn't acceptable online behavior, not just for their protection, but also to ensure they treat others with respect. Consider using parental controls and monitoring software, but don't rely solely on them. Technology can only go so far. It's the relationship you build that makes the biggest difference. Finally, encourage your children to take breaks from social media. A digital detox can help them reconnect with themselves away from the pressure of likes, comments, and comparisons. Remind them that it's okay to step back from the digital world and focus on real-life connections and experiences. It's one of the best ways to safeguard their mental health in a world that's constantly online. It's tough to admit, but sometimes kids don't speak up when they're being bullied online. They might feel ashamed, scared, or simply confused about what's happening. That's why, as parents, we need to keep an eye out for the subtle signs. Is your child suddenly withdrawing from their favorite online games or social media apps? Have they become unusually secretive about their phone or computer? These could be red flags. A sudden drop in self-esteem, mood swings, or changes in sleep patterns are also signs to watch for. Don't wait for them to tell you. Trust your instincts if something feels off. One of the biggest warning signs? Isolation. If your previously social child starts avoiding friends or skipping activities they once loved, it's time to check in. Cyberbullying often isolates its victims, making them feel like they're all alone. The key is to approach the conversation with empathy, not accusation. You might say, "I've noticed you seem down lately. Is everything okay?" Keep it gentle. Let them know you're there, ready to listen without judgment. We can't be with our kids every second, but we can monitor their online activity to protect them from the dangers lurking on the internet. Start by having open conversations about internet safety. Make it a regular topic, not just a one-time talk. Let them know that you're not trying to invade their privacy, but are there to keep them safe. Explain the importance of privacy settings, blocking strangers, and never sharing personal information online. It's also worth exploring parental control apps. These tools can help you track your child's online behavior, screen time, and who they're interacting with. But let's be clear, no app can replace a trusting parent-child relationship. The goal isn't to control them, but to guide them, especially when they're still learning how to navigate the digital world. You might be surprised by how much they open up if they feel you're on their side rather than spying on them. Finding out your child has been bullying others online can be a heartbreaking moment. No parent wants to believe their child is capable of such behavior, but facing the issue head-on is crucial. The first step is to stay calm and gather the facts before reacting. Kids often don't fully grasp the impact of their actions, especially online, where words can feel weightless. It's essential to hold them accountable while also understanding why they chose to behave this way. It's important to have a conversation, not a lecture. Ask open-ended questions like, "Can you help me understand what happened?" Listen to their perspective and avoid jumping to conclusions. Sometimes, kids who bully online are struggling with their own feelings of inadequacy or are acting out due to peer pressure. Your job is to guide them toward better choices, not to shame them into submission. Why children become cyberbullies. Children don't start bullying others out of nowhere. Often, there's an underlying issue driving their behavior. Research indicates that kids who engage in cyberbullying may have experienced bullying themselves, either online or offline. They could be projecting their pain onto others in an attempt to feel more powerful. Sometimes, it's a way to fit in with a certain group or to gain social status. According to Dr. Elizabeth Englander, a leading expert on bullying, kids often turn to cyberbullying because it feels easier and less risky than face-to-face confrontation. Other times, it's about boredom or a desire for attention. The online world offers anonymity and instant gratification, which can be tempting for kids who feel ignored or powerless in other areas of their lives. Understanding the root causes of your child's actions can help you address the issue more effectively. It's about getting to the why behind the behavior, not just punishing the what. If your child has crossed the line into cyberbullying, it's time to take proactive steps to correct their behavior. Start by setting clear boundaries. Let them know that online cruelty isn't acceptable and that there will be consequences if it happens again. This might mean restricting access to devices, reducing screen time, or having them take a break from social media altogether. But punishment alone won't change behavior. It's essential to teach empathy too. Encourage your child to reflect on the impact of their actions. Ask them to put themselves in the shoes of the person they targeted. Role-playing exercises can be an effective way to build empathy. Also, consider involving them in activities that promote kindness and community involvement. Volunteering, for example, can help them shift their focus from online drama to making a positive difference in the real world. Finally, if you're struggling to change your child's behavior, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Sometimes, speaking with a counselor or therapist can help uncover deeper issues that might be driving their actions. The goal is to break the cycle of negativity and guide them toward becoming kinder, more compassionate individuals.